Hello. I hope my mic is working. I changed things again. Hi, bravest boy. Welcome to chat. I hope you're having a good day today. Oh my gosh, why is my phone like going crazy? Anyway, hello everyone. I hope that everyone is doing well. Hello Lazy. Thank you for following me, by the way. And hello Blondie too. Hi. I will switch my screen. Hello. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me today for another stream. Yeah, how's everyone doing this week? How's everyone doing this week? I think for me it's been like kind of, I mean, I think it's crazy for a lot of people that you know, working around the holidays and stuff. It's been kind of wild. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well today. I as you can see on my screen, I've kind of changed things around a little bit. I no longer have the thingies on the bottom because what is it? They just don't update and it kind of annoyed me. So also, I'm over my cold now. Mostly. I mean, I'm not feeling super good today, but that's okay. Yeah. So I've updated something. So I'm using like half and half of like Stream Elements and then Streamlabs. I think the chat is still part of Streamlab. No, it's part of Stream Elements. And then the and then like alerts and anything like that, like if anybody follows or if anybody does whatever, that'll be, maybe I'll turn on the music a little bit. Is gonna be from Streamlabs. So I'm using both now instead because I feel like it's been kind of like weird. Yeah, so, and I'm still in my other model. I think see, I forgot how to turn it off, so I think this is just what I'm gonna be looking like from now on. But yeah, so happy to do another stream though. Yeah, I don't think I will do another stream next week, even though I'm on break. But I will do another one because I just want to continue being as consistent as I can be. So, but today on the stream, I just want to do some more like lore stuff mostly. Yeah, so okay, let's see. Oh, also, oh wait, did I also talk about this weird little like box in the corner, like this thing? Is that moving? I don't know. Anyway, that thing is just there. I think it's called a stream. I don't know what it's actually called. I don't remember what it's actually called. It's a stream something, and basically you'll, oh, events. It's like stream events. So any stream events will be like right there. Yeah, so anyway, let's move on to some of the content for today. So again, I think for the next couple of streams, it's gonna be mostly like lore streams to introduce you into the world of Morena again and stuff, and go into more detail and talk about like updates and whatnot. So yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so here I am in my little teaching screen. I've labeled this scene teaching. Yeah. Okay, so we're doing all about the Lore of Morena part 2, and we're going to be delving into the 3 kingdoms. Just Penkos today though, and also it's not even 3 kingdoms because the what kingdom is it? Oh, the empire of Penkos is an empire. So today we'll mostly be talking about Penkos and whatnot. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Okay, gonna get rid of that one. Okay, so here's some updates. I feel like my stream is like it's like, because I'm also watching myself. So I'm one of my own viewers, but I'm like, I don't know if like the stream is kind of being blurry and stuff. I can't tell. Also, hello Dead League, how are you doing? Okay, cool, thank you. I wasn't sure, because again, my internet isn't like particularly strong, but it's like I don't think it's worth it to like, I don't know, pay basically like 50% more, like $60 for like a small upgrade. It's just like $60 every month is a lot of money. For like a small upgrade, and I don't even think it's gonna be like too much better, but you know, whatever. So updates for today. So the part 2 of the Firestorm Witch series is going to release on 12/27, so next week. And so you'll get to meet Celestina Hesperia and Zale Manium again, and I hope you're excited for that. I think that's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get a little bit more drama finally. Yeah, you're excited? Okay, I'm glad. But like, God, you gotta remember though, that series is gonna be like slow burn, so get ready for some pain. Yeah. And then today we're having the holiday watch party at 5 p.m. EST, and so hopefully that will go well. Last time I had to have somebody else stream for me because I don't know why it wasn't working. I'm gonna try on Chrome today again and see how that works, and hopefully that's fine. Yeah. And then also the Notion is 10% done now, so oh, hello Dia, how are you? I hope you've been well. I forgot it actually is like morning for you now, isn't it? But yeah, so the Notion is 10% done. I've been working on it slowly again. Since I will be going on like winter break for like for my actual work, and so I'll get like quite a few days off so I can actually like work on it, because I want that to be done. I actually want that to be done soon enough. I mostly have the like character database done, mostly. I still have to add like descriptions in there and like here and there, but I've like pretty much like added everyone into the database now. And then I started working on location specifically, and it's like split up a lot more. Like it's like it talks about the 3 kingdoms and then the undead lands and the Morayan lands and stuff like that. So there's a lot more going on. Yeah, so that's some news for you guys. And hopefully I'll get it done like sometime late January. I'm hoping, because like I really want to get that information out to you guys, because it's a lot more, and it's gonna be kind of like a Wikipedia page almost, but like from me. Like I'm making the Wikipedia page, so that's what I've been working on. You know what, I found this website. Well, Dixon told me about it. I forgot what it's called though, but like people do like world building on there, but I don't think I think you have to like invite people to go. You have to invite people to like via a link to go see it, and only like 1,000 people to see it. I don't think 1,000 people are visiting my Notion website, but it's like if it ever got that big, I don't, like I want more people to be able to see like the information and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what it's called though. I can't remember what it's called. Like World Forge? Is that what it's called? Has anyone used World Forge before? Because that's like a world building website. I think it's called World Forge anyway. Anvil. That makes more sense. Anvil. Yes, thank you, bravest boy. Yes. Anvil. Yeah, World Anvil. So I've seen it before and it looks pretty cool, but I think I'm just gonna stick to the Notion because it still gives me like a lot of flexibility, and it's like, you know, like I don't have to pray. I don't have to pay like too much of a premium in order to like host a website essentially. So yeah, thank you. Okay. So right. Objective. This is like a class. No, but you know, the stream will learn a bit more in detail about the Empire of Penkos and the Kingdom of Claris and the Kingdom of Atticus. So you're not going to learn about Claris and Atticus today. We're mostly only going to be talking about Penkos, which is the little middle symbol. And so you're mostly going to be learning about the Empire of Penkos today. Since it's kind of like the main world, I think everything takes place in, like the audios and whatnot. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. Also, I am like sorry if like you can hear like a fan sound or something, because like my computer has been making like just an awful amount of sound lately. Like it's just so loud and I don't know why. Actually, wait, let me turn on my, I think, okay. I gotta like reach around to like do this. Where is it? Okay. There might be more fan sounds now, but it's gonna keep it my computer cool because I think it might be like overheating or something. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. You know, because I was working on my my sound stuff, and like I hope I don't sound like too muted or anything. Like I don't, because I mean I don't expect to be like screaming, so obviously it would like limit like whatever's going on, but like I hope I don't sound like too muffly. Like I'm gonna be like working on that like slowly and seeing like what I can do. But okay, thank you. Because I listened to like my first stream and I felt like I was like sounding strange or something like that, but okay, good, because like, you know, I have a pretty okay mic and I want it to sound nice. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, so this is the Empire of Penkos. We've seen this before. Could I try and make a map of specifically just Penkos? Yeah, I could, but it's kind of hard because this shape is super random and I don't know what my incarnate account is anymore. Because I could obviously like scrub around it and then do it, but anyway. So as you can see here, this is the Empire of Penkos. A lot of our beloved characters from the series. The fan sound is very low. Like I can only hear it because my headphones and volume is on max. Oh my god, am I like really quiet or something? Okay, well I hope it's low because, you know, I'm sitting right next to my laptop, so hopefully it's like not too loud. I hope I'm not too quiet. Am I too quiet? But yeah, a lot of our beloved characters from, okay, thank you. A lot of our beloved characters from my audio 1%. Oh my gosh, the varied amounts of like what your sounds are on are kind of funny to me. 1% versus max. Okay. But yeah, so this is a lot of it takes place inside of like the capital city, because like what we have like Princess Era, and then we have Era the Night. Well, she's gonna be in the capital city now, and then you know, we have Seiya, but then it moves to Clara, so that's different. But there's a lot of stories that happen in Penkos. Eventually she'll be there. Yeah. There's a lot of characters that will be mostly in Penkos. Not as much happens like directly in the other kingdoms necessarily. Like yeah, I would say the main focus of this world is Penkos, but I will be like I've said before, I will be exploring the different kingdoms in more depth, because there's like a lot of characters that you will like meet that are directly from there, and like characters will be like in Claris and whatever. Like, okay, what, like in phase 3, so this current phase, I think there's gonna be a character named Zelina that is in Claris, and so you'll meet her and her story will take completely in Claris, and like not in like Reizoa or anything, the capital city. It's just gonna be like in a town. So you'll get to know a lot more about like what the common life of someone in Claris would be like. So that'll be exciting. I think, I have something going on in Atticus. I don't think that's gonna be like a phase 3 story. I was actually thinking about writing like a short story about them, because I think it's hard to portray their characters from like role play alone. And so yeah, but those characters are really interesting. I think they're like powers are really cool. But this stream is about Penkos. So a lot of our human characters are from this place, you know, the ones that have like godless power and stuff. But yeah, so this is what Penkos pretty much looks like. Okay, so Penkos, like as I discussed last time, Penkos was formerly known as the Northlands because it is in the north, and they continue to use this name for a long while, because sometime after the firstborn gods were in Penkos, they renamed it as the Firstborn's Realm, and then eventually it became Penkos, but it was formerly known as Penkos. And so there's like 8 politically defined regions that are within Penkos. I'm gonna be saying Penkos a million times over. Like, I don't know if there should be like a counter for how many times I actually say it. But so there's Speyer, which is the capital city, which is like directly in the middle of Penkos. And then there's Alasia, which is the current ruling family, but they have their own region. Then there is Targathon, which is right next to the Targathon Gorge. It's kind of known for being a little bit I don't know, not that nice of a place, I guess. And then there's Ladle, which I will continue to call it Ladle. I wanted to change the pronunciation of it to Ladell, but then I was just like, I already started calling it Ladle, so it's just gonna be Ladle, like a spoon, like a soup spoon, but that's fine. And then there's Iron, there's Okegan, Citus, and Campy. So those are the 8 different regions that you will kind of hear about and that you will explore in the various audio role plays. Yeah, but like Speyer used to be called Manium because there was like the lead, I guess, the top eldest godson named Manium, and so he named the capital city after himself. And then there was like all the other ones. Campy itself is like a mountain region, so if I were from Ladle, I'd pronounce it as Ladell to be extra. I mean, it sounds so fancy compared to Ladle, you know? I don't know why I thought it would be like, oh yeah, I should name it Ladle. I don't know how I didn't think it should have been Ladell for some reason. Like, it really should have been Ladell, I think. I think it sounds kind of silly now, but it's fine. It's too late. I can't do anything about it. Campy is in its own kind of like the history of it is very complicated, because Campy was kind of like its own autonomous like mountain region that was inhabited by like dragons, and a lot of those dragons migrated to other places like Atticus, like after some time, and like I can't really reveal why they migrated and stuff like that, but there are still like villages and places where, you know, people are living within Campy. And so Campy is almost kind of like a territory at this point, and it was gained through what was it? I think it's Shiaides, yeah. Shiaides kind of made like a deal with them, and so Campy kind of became a territory to Penkos. And that's not quite explored yet, but it is kind of explored within one of these like mini audio series that I have on Patreon that talks about basically like this very famous Duke of Iron that went to Atticus, and when he came back from Atticus, he kind of became this really like powerful guy, and he you know, made some sort of a deal with Campy, and slowly like Campy became part of Penkos. And so Penkos is kind of like confusing, but not Penkos, Campy is kind of confusing, but they are technically part of Penkos, but more so as like a territory. Yeah, so there's that. Okay, wait, give me 1 second. Apologies, friends or kiddos. I need to stop saying friends. That's the language I use when I'm talking to actual children. Okay, wait, how do I do that? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, never mind. I am back. How do I go back? Okay, there. Hi. Oh, hi. Hilo. Yeah, that's not what I meant to say. Hello, Dark Skuroi. I hope you're doing well. How are you? I'm glad to see you in chat again. Yeah. So, was I talking about anything? I don't know if I was actually talking about anything, or I was gonna move on. I was probably gonna move on at this point. But yeah, sorry, I had to like take care of something for a second. Okay. Oh, you know what, this is a question I had, and I might like poll about it because I'm kind of unsure. I should have polled about it before I started streaming on Twitch, but like, do people prefer to stream, like do people prefer to like watch streams on Twitch, or would you prefer to watch streams on YouTube? Like, I don't know how like y'all feel about that. But like, you know, who like which platform like do you like better? So I really should have polled before I started streaming because it's kind of late now, but I do kind of want to know. Came home from volleyball practice a few minutes ago. That's cool. Yeah, like, do you play for like a local team or something like that? Yeah. I prefer YouTube. I'm only on Twitch for you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I've had a couple of people say like they would like prefer not to use Twitch, to be honest, and that like YouTube would be better. So I think Twitch is my preference, but posting a VOD on YouTube could be nice, or vice versa. Yeah, so I've been posting, I have like a VOD, I have a VOD channel now, so if you know, if people want to see, then they can go on that and like watch. You know, at some point, you know, I might like do a stream here or there, maybe on YouTube or something, just to see how that goes. But like, I don't really know. I've streamed on YouTube like twice, because I remember like there was like this thing going around that was like, either is fine by me, slight preference to Twitch and VODs on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't really sure, because, you know, a lot of people like multi-stream and stuff like that or whatever. But I'm not sure how to do that exactly. I was thinking about doing it, but then I wasn't exactly sure how like to do that, or if like my computer and my internet could even handle that, or like how that works, etc, etc. But yeah, I have a Shiaides VODs channel. I have it linked in the Discord, in like socials and links, and I also have it, I think, you know what, I don't know if I linked it on my YouTube itself, but it's in a community post, I think, if you want to like check out the VODs and stuff. I have VODs turned on for Twitch itself, so you can always watch it on here, but you know, I've been really into like trying to make sure that I have like backups of stuff and to make sure that you guys have access to the content and whatnot. But okay, yeah, thank you for letting me know. Oh really? Oh, okay. Yeah, you should check out the VODs. They're all there for you to watch. I don't know if like can I post a link somewhere? It's on the Discord if you want to find it. But yeah, so playing in a team with friends, that's fun. That's really fun. It's funny. I had what was it? I had a kid ask me today, like, what was the last sport you like ever played? And I think the last like real like sport I like played was like badminton. And I played with a couple of friends in like university, like maybe once. I should have done it more, but I don't know. I'm like one of those people that like it takes a lot like out of me to like go outside. Oh, thank you. I love badminton. It is so fun. It's like one of my favorite sports like ever. Yeah, I played a lot of it in like high school. And that like I was so competitive, so it, you know, I should have really like played more. I really should have played more while I was in college, because I could have rented out like a court and then just played with my friends or something. But oh well. I would like to play again, because there's like courts around you can go to, so maybe I'll try that like closer to like summer. But sometimes our summers are just like so warm and like awful, like, you know, like 90 plus degrees constantly, no clouds in the sky whatsoever, so I can't go out and play because I might die if I do. I might get burnt to a crisp, so I you know, I will not. Yeah, so it's too bad. I need to find like a good time to like actually play and like to get people to play. Maybe my cousins or something. Okay, because I think they play. I think they do play. Okay, so I'm so behind on lore, even on the OG channel. Oh yeah. So you should go and go on to and find the VOD and then listen to it, because it's very like basic lore. It's like a good like run. It's a good overview, I guess, of the lore and whatnot. Okay, so the current ruling family of Penkos. So the head of House Alasia, and the current emperor is Emperor Neohaima, and then the Empress and Queen. So this is kind of how it works. Basically, it's like for Penkos, because each of them have different systems. For Penkos itself, basically whoever's the eldest will become the emperor or the empress. So it's not based on gender or anything like that, and it's just based on who is the eldest. Originally, Neo was actually the younger brother, and so he wasn't actually supposed to be emperor. He became emperor after his elder sister, Wisteria, died. So that's kind of... Oh, there was a poll. I didn't even realize there was a poll. Well, thank you. I didn't... Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing the poll. Yeah, so basically whoever's the eldest will become the head of the household, and so Neo was the younger one. Now, mind you, for a lot of the for Penkos itself, you can marry like multiple people. That is a thing, mainly just to, you know, the thing of like having more children in case. In this case, Neo married both Erish and Despina, but because Erish was the candidate, like the first candidate, and like to be chosen, and so she became empress, which is a higher position than the queen. So, you know, emperor and empress, those are the top two people, and then after that, you know, whoever the next like wives are will be a queen. Or they might just be called a consort, depending on how it works. Because if you look at the previous household, if you're looking at like the previous household of Penkos before Neo, so like Neo's dad and stuff like that, Neo had his empress named Regina, and then he had his queen Aisha, and then his like consort or whatever named Lady Barium. So that's kind of like how that works. Really, you're only supposed to be marrying like 2 to 3 people. Any more than that is not allowed. You can only do 2 to 3 people. That should be like sufficient enough if you're really trying to have like kids or whatever. So yeah, and basically the children of the Empress will be in a higher rank than the children of the Queen, so automatically they're like, you know, whoever the children of the Queen are gonna be like later in line for the throne. So when we're, for example, if we're looking at the current like household or whatever, Era is younger than Princess Era from the Rude Princess series is younger than Seiya from the Villainous series. She's younger, but because she is the daughter of the Empress, she is higher in, you know, she's higher up in the hierarchy than Seiya is. I mean, Seiya now, though, she's a queen, so like whatever, who cares? She's the queen of like well, she will be, I guess, after we've just ended. Seiya's gonna be the queen of Claris, so like who cares, you know? So did Neo's sister die young, or was she the Empress for a bit at the time? No, she died young. So she had just gotten married, and a couple months after that, she died. That lore is actually on the Patreon as well, although it's kind of like split up and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys have like listened to it yet, but she did die. She died quite young before she got to become the emperor. And basically when she died, and then Neo was kind of like called back. Oh, hello, AdaK09, welcome to the chat. Yes, you are right, she was killed by Faraz. Oh wow, someone who knows. But yeah, welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well today. Yeah, so she was killed by her husband. She was killed by her husband, and so after that, Neo was called back to the capital because he wasn't living in the capital. He was kind of like traveling around, and then he became the emperor because his father basically like stepped down out of grief. But yeah, so that's kind of how that worked out. It's not a happy story for sure. So yeah, and then the next in line is Crown Prince Leo. So he is the eldest child, and he's going to be the next emperor. Yeah, so I mean, Empress Erish, by the way, is deceased. She's no longer with us. She is dead. And then Queen Despina just kind of like disappeared, basically. Yeah. So, I mean, mind you, I mean, if you, I mean, the lore, again, it's so like deep and it's hard to like explain and stuff like that. But Wisteria, if you've listened to the prequel Despina series, if you listen to that, you kind of know already that Wisteria and Faraz is Queen Despina's brother. It's her older brother, not the eldest, but the one who's older than her. And so they were gonna get married, and then at this point in time, Neo hasn't taken on a bride or anything like that. He hasn't taken on any brides, like that whole like system or whatever, like of him like deciding on like who to marry hasn't started yet. And so they're like finalizing the details of like their engagement in the Despina prequel. But later on, things aren't so well, and you can hear in some audios about like Wisteria talking about it, and she like doesn't really understand why like Faraz is like acting in like a weird way or whatever. But yeah, that's also a little bit of a mystery. No one really knows why exactly Faraz killed Wisteria, but it is something to be discovered, I guess, in, you know, like in maybe in the Despina series later on. Yeah, but that also maybe has to do with some bad forces in the world. I don't know. But yeah, and really though, if you know, people have been a part of have been following the lore for a while, I guess it's also kind of weird because Neo didn't really want to marry either Erish or Despina. And you'll see this in the next slide. We're gonna go over the whole family tree. So here is the entire family tree, and as we can see, it is pretty messy, guys. It is pretty messy. There is a lot of things going on. Okay, so as we can see, Emperor Neo married Empress Erish, and he married Queen Despina, but he had an affair with Lady Ina, who is the sister of Empress Erish. So Emperor Neo is a bit of a mess, I must say, but it's not only his fault. You know, this is the system that he wanted to take a part in. You don't have to marry like 2 people or 3 people even. You can just marry one person, which is what Leo does. He only marries one person. He doesn't have a need for that. But yeah, so he has an affair with Lady Ina, and which messy, even more mess, by the way, right? Even more mess is that she's engaged to Queen Despina's older brother. So it's even more messy. It's even worse. It's just worse. It's that, like, you know, it's like Ina over here is taking her sister's man, and she's also engaged to Queen Despina's brother, and it's just like there's too much happening. there's way too much happening. And so from Emperor Neo and Lady Ina's union, they had Princess Medea. Yes, busy. This guy is a mess. And so was Ina. Ina was not so great. I mean, you'll kind of understand this later when you're listening to the Despina prequel series as well. Is that Lady Ina wasn't the nicest, we've got to say. So yeah. So she had Princess Medea, which you find out in the Maid series if you've watched the Maid series. I mean, I don't, you know, it's a bit of a spoiler, I guess, but she is a princess. And so she marries Lord Rasius, and then she has 2 kids named Lux and Renea. And so those are the 2 kids, and she lives in the palace and stuff like that. But then Emperor Neo has 2 children with Empress Erish. So he has Crown Prince Leo, like we discussed before, and he marries Crown Princess Vittoria. And then he also has his daughter, Princess Era, and she is now the Grand Duchess of Ladle, and she is married to the Grand Duke Anium of Ladle, who's also the Plecteri Knight. And the Plecteri Knight is the strongest, I don't know, most powerful, awesome knight in the land of Morena. So he is recognized by the gods. He is just generally renowned as the strongest. And I think this is like lore from like a long time ago, but he didn't want to be he didn't want to take on the title of Swordmaster, because he was like, I have way too many titles, I don't want another one, so I'm not even gonna bother. Oh, you're a Plecteri Knight wannabe. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, it's good to follow in his footsteps. I mean, he's a strong dude who believes in doing the right thing, and it's always trying to better himself and to do good things for the world and for himself and his family. So he's a good role model, I think. I think Anium's a really good role model. But yeah, and then they had 3 kids, and so he has Arlan, Alessia, and then Ulrich. All A's, all A names. Their whole family is all A names. Era, Anium, Ulrich, Arlan, and Alessia. It's a lot of A names. That's kind of the what they wanted to do, I guess. And then on the other side of it, Emperor Neo had 2 children with Queen Despina, which those are twins. Those 2 are twins. And so he had Prince Livius, who married Princess Liana, and we just finished. So were Despina's stillborn princes born before Leo? I think it was like around the same-ish time. Not necessarily, like, it's like around the same-ish time that Despina had like sons. Yeah. So it's around the same-ish time. A lot of these people were getting married around, not getting married, getting pregnant around the same time, around the same time frame. So a lot of these siblings have like very close, they're very close in age. So they're like extremely close in age. Like they're like, a lot of these kids are probably only like a couple of months like off from each other. But yeah, so ended up with like four children in like the royal family. But yeah, so but because we just finished the Princess Liana, the Foreign Princess series, and so you can see in that Prince Livius and Princess Liana get married, and they will also eventually have 2 children. One is named Narcissa, and the other is Hyacinth. So those are the two kids that they have, and it takes a long while, not super long, but it takes a while before they can have children, because obviously like Liana is like, you know, very weak and sickly, and they do manage to find like treatment for her eventually. Like it doesn't like necessarily work like to get rid of it or anything like that, but it does like stabilize her a lot more, like using Livius's blood as like a base to make sure she like stays healthy, and eventually she does become healthy enough, and she's cleared to have kids. And so she has two girls that are also twins. There's a lot of twins in this series, a lot of twins, and what, like, as you can see, we're gonna move on to the next kid, is Queen Despina's daughter, who is Princess Seiya. Hello, Mo Diddle? Question mark? Always crazy to see how large the scope of this is. Also, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for chatting. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's kind of like huge. It's very it's expansive, you know. There's a lot going on. I always talk about it because I'm just like, I always talk about it with Dixon, and I'm just like, you know, I have way too many names and too many things going on, but it's just like, you know, it helps keep the world alive, I think, is something important for me, is that like it stays alive. Oh, hi Flagler, how are you? Nice to see you in chat again. Yeah, I hope you're doing well today. Currently on a 3 stream streak. Well, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know why I decided to like do all of this, because it is very like complicated. It's all complicated, and it's all like coming from my brain and stuff. It's just like, oh, my brain is being overworked, guys. But yeah, and so Princess Seiya gets married to King Adept of Claris, and we also just finished that one like a couple of months ago, and they have a lot of kids, and you know, mind you, it was only 2 pregnancies that this happened with. They had triplets and they had quadruplets, and then after that she was like, okay, I'm not gonna try again. I'm not gonna try again, because that's not what I wanted. I didn't expect like 7 children after 2 pregnancies. So that's it. But that's also kind of yeah, that's kind of not that my, because I think I talked about this on the server. It's kind of inspired after like my own family. Not that they had like twins or triplets or something like that, but a lot of like people in my family, they have like 7+ siblings or something. So, didn't happen all at once, but but it was a lot of kids. It was a lot of kids. But yeah, it's a lot. The imperial family is pretty large. I mean, mind you, I could cut off the Princess Seiya King Adap thing because that's more of like Claris's family. But they have a lot of kids over there. They have so many cousins from the Claris side. So there's family reunions must be like ridiculous. She did wish for a big happy family, and she did get a big happy family. So yeah, you know what? I think I remember you talking about on the Discord about like how, I think it was the Discord, maybe the Discord, and you talked about how like it could be it's probably like ridiculous in the castle or whatever, the keep, because like she's got like a bunch, because they like because they're Vorso, because they're like half Vorso, a lot of them like do the primal shifting thing I talked about in the last stream, and so there's just like little panthers just running around the hallways constantly and like getting into trouble and stuff, and like yeah, definitely that was happening. And but like thankfully she has like a lot of help, and like Adept is also he knows what it's like obviously to be a Vorso, and she doesn't, so it's more complicated for her because she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how do I like coax my like panther child back, Oh goodness, imagine going for a drink of water and seeing a big cat scurry past. Yeah, like I think it would be kind of just like, but then if Seiya knows, she's like, excuse me, Dion, what are you doing out of bed? Etc, etc. Because he's like trying to like hide and slink around the corners as like a cat, and it's like, you're way too big to be doing this. It's like, go back to bed, child. But yeah, so it probably is weird for Seiya, if we're gonna be honest here, because a lot of them do prefer to be in their like panthery form, but then like one of her kids really only transforms into like a deer, so then she's also seeing like deer walk around the house, and she's like, oh gosh. It just must have been like a lot to like deal with, to be honest. Like I personally want to have like 3 kids, but like that's a lot of kids. Like I don't even understand how like my grandma and my great grandma and stuff like that had like 7 children, because it's just like, how are you doing that? Because I can't imagine taking care of like that many children. Like that's a lot. Like I think 3 is a lot. I guess for like today's standards, most people are really only having like 1 to 2. But yeah, I just I don't think I'm gonna be having 7 kids. That's a lot of children. Good luck to Seiya, I guess. Okay, so here's the next part. Okay, so brief history. We kind of, it's like having a dog that slowly learns how to talk. Yeah, it is kind of like having a dog or something that's like learning how to talk. But yeah, so brief history stuff. That's true. She had like 1 kid, Ida's, which he didn't get his powers to shift and stuff until like much later on, so it was slower for her. She at least had like 1 child who was just humanish for a while, until like he could finally like transform and stuff. But brief history, we kind of went over this before, how these are the major events that kind of occur. So the first one, Firstborn Era, which is when the Firstborns kind of like took over ruling Penkos, or the Northlands, and they like split it up among themselves. There were only like 5 at the time when it happened, and so that's where like Pen kind of comes from. The name is kind of like a tribute to the fact that there were only like 5 Firstborn gods, and then like there was like a couple more that came in like later on. And then we go to the Fall of Morena, which is a war between the gods. And then the third one is Era's Revolution, which is the second war that happens kind of within Morena itself. But this mainly takes place in Penkos. And so we're on the first season of the Night series, and in that you will bear witness to Era's Revolution. You will also bear witness to Era's Revolution in the new Firestorm, the Firestorm Witch series. So that's gonna be something. That's definitely gonna be something. And then the third war, which is the 10-year war, or the cultic war. Again, that has to do with, I mean, this more so involves like the other countries, but countries that has to mostly do with Penkos being at fault here. Penkos was at fault here mostly, and there's like this whole like upheaval and stuff like that, and you know, we'll get into that too. And then the fourth war is the False War, the one we saw most recently, where kind of this was like a war meant to be lost. It wasn't like Claris was ever going to be able to take over Atticus, or they were never going to be taking over Penkos. Like, there was just no way. It was a war meant to be lost, especially after, like, you know, because they're like going after like three big, you know, like powers. There was just like no way it was gonna happen, especially because the church is like, hey, you've kind of like gone against like the agreement that you have here. You are hurting people, etc., etc. So you have us on the bad, you know, you have us like, you're on our bad side now. Oh, hello, Lazy. I hope you're doing well. And so then, and I talk about this in the lore stream the last time, and that was the fifth war, which is the Calamity. The Calamity is the fifth war. So mind you, I'm saying which war is what number for a reason, because somebody in chat might be wondering why in a certain description it talked about 5 wars. So, you know, there's your clues there, I suppose, for you to figure out that mystery. There's a lot of mysteries going on in this series. But that's like the very like basic like brief history, like the major events of Morena. Not Morena. I mean, these are big events in Morena itself, but these are the major events that like kind of make Penkos today. So there you go. All right, so demographics. Well, I'll go into demographics after I give myself a stretch break, because I've been sitting in this chair for a little bit and my back really hurts recently, so I'm gonna stretch. Yeah, sorry about this. I need to like readjust myself. Let's see. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so the main race of Penkos is humans, as we know. And then approximately, however you say that number, is the inhabitants. Again, they're not all of that is humans, but that's how many people are living in Penkos. Again, the continent of Morena is a lot larger than you might think it is. Like, it's way huge. And so there is, you know, like immigration, like coming in and out, like coming in from Atticus and Claris, and that makes up like 5 to 7% of the population. So it's not like a huge percentage or anything like that. It's not huge, and again, like, because it is kind of like free to like pass in between, yeah, I didn't expect that population. I don't even know how to say that number, so you know. it's pretty big. It's very vast. It's a very vast kingdom and world in general. Like, this is, you know, this is all it is. The world itself is basically just this continent. there's nothing else to it, so it is just humongous. But because, like, you know, borders are essentially like free to go like in between, they're kind of free. Like, obviously, like, you have to make sure that like one country knows you're going into the next country, but it's you know, like, fairly free to go across, because they are all like allies and stuff like that, and they're all working together. Like, that's like the main point of the series, is that, like, you know, they all have to kind of like work together to fight against like the undead, and like that's the main issue. So yeah, because there's like a lot of people that are like living around like the edges of Morena, because between Penkos, between the different like countries and kingdoms, there's these things called halflands, which I'll explain when I talk about the I guess the Morayan lands in another stream, maybe in like 4 streams or something like that. But basically that's kind of like the buffer zone where, like, you know, like people who were half of, you know, each race could be like kept safe by the church. But now, like, that, you know, place isn't really like used as much anymore, and so now they're you know, they are like moving into like not moving into Atticus, they're moving into Penkos. They're moving into Penkos, and like plenty of people like leave Penkos and then come back and stuff like that. Like, you can see in Atticus. Oh, hello Shorzy. Hello Shorzy. A little bit, but that's okay. I will be uploading, I mean, the VOD will be here, and then I will be uploading the VOD onto my VOD channel. So don't you worry, I don't mind. It's okay. It's okay, you can catch up. I'm just talking about Penkos. Yeah, I'm just talking about Penkos today. And going into more detail about it. But yeah. So, because if you can see in like Atticus, I think Atticus actually gets the most amount of immigration from the other kingdoms in the empire. Like, you can see that itself when you're like looking at the was it Queen Phil's like little harem or whatever. Like, that's like people coming from like all over the place, because I think like Atticus is like the most like diverse in terms of like species, and so it's like you can't really like walk anywhere without like seeing like someone of a different like of a different species there. Hello Truth Boy, welcome to the chat. Hi, nice to meet you. How are you doing today? So it's a lot of like different species there. Less so like for Klaris and then Penkos, but and then there's one common language, and this might answer a question that somebody else had. Ooh, no. Interesting. Okay then. Anyway. You know? So, what was I talking about again? Let's see. Oh yeah, so there's one common language across Morena, and this is probably gonna answer a question that, what is it? Yeah. That somebody asked before about, like, what the the tongue of Morena is. So there's one common language, but it's called Morayan. It's not called the tongue of Morena. That's different. So there you go. I don't think that really like explains what that means exactly, but you know, that doesn't completely like explain it. But yeah, so also thank you Luca. So the largest population, so like the I guess because when I was talking earlier before about the was it this slide? No. What slide was it? No. This one. No. This one. Okay, so when I was talking about, oh no, because now I have another one open. Is it this one that I have open? There you go. Okay, so when I was talking about the 8 politically defined regions, right? So like in these politically defined regions, the largest population is Speyer. And I think that makes sense because Speyer is the capital city, so obviously it would be like probably the biggest. Yeah, so that would probably be the biggest one. And then the smallest population is Campy. Again, this is like a territory, so it's not particularly huge or anything like that, and it's very like exclusive, I think. It's like very exclusive, so it's not it's like rural, like they live in a valley, and they like aren't really like open. Yeah, they aren't really like open or anything. And then the religion, again, because right, Morena isn't like a collection of stories or anything. She literally walked, you know, among the people, etc., etc. Like they're like actual like historical records of it and whatnot. Morena herself, right, is she is revered across Penkos. There's no other religion really apart from the Church of Morena. And so they kind of are like the central like leading force, I think, among like all of the kingdoms. So yeah, so that's a little bit of like the demographics of Penkos. And so now we will move on to something not as interesting, economics. So we're gonna talk about economics. A large part of Penkos, what they do is food production, and I also forgot to add that they do a lot of like textile work as well. You can hear in the what was it, northern solstice, what was it, in the northern solstice audio, and I guess this also answers like Dallas's question on the Discord. I didn't get to answer that yet, but essentially in the in that audio, they Era talks about like textiles and like getting more clothing and whatnot, and etc., etc. So like a big part of what Penkos like exports and produces is food and textiles. I've talked about it before because in Ladle they mostly focus on wheat production. They grow a lot of wheat. Their biggest focus in Ladle is agriculture. Same with Iron as well. Iron is a big agriculture dukedom. And then they also do a lot of medical. Now this is an interesting thing because obviously people have light magic, right? In which light magic is, you know, obviously that's like gonna heal people and stuff like that. But not necessarily like, you know, long-term like illnesses and stuff like that. Because, you know, light magic is typically more so used for like visible like physical injuries and stuff like that. I'm saying stuff like that a lot and I need to stop. So there is a lot of like magic research because both of the academies are they're not in Penkos, they're like attached to Penkos, but a lot of the academies are there, and so it produces a lot of places to do magic research in. But also, you know, when we're talking about the different like magics, like the God Bless magic and Avon's Bless magic and all that, again, most of the magic is used for practical reasons, and so a lot of the practicality goes into medical research. And again, like, you don't have to do like, I think, you know, like Penkos is very reliant on magic, but there's also like a big emphasis on like learning how to do medical work without magic, but also how magic can influence medical procedures and stuff like that. So there's a lot of research into that, and so there are like a lot of like, I guess, like employers and stuff and companies are doing magic research, and so that's where a lot of jobs come from, apart from like like agriculture and whatever. And then there's also tourism. There's a lot to visit in Penkos, and I'd like to explore this more in other audios and whatnot. So tourism is like a big part of it. Like when Livius gives Vienna like a little like tour and stuff like that. When Livius gives a tour to Vienna, he like takes her to a beach and stuff, because Okehagan is actually like it's very beach forward. But there's also a port there. So there's like a lot of like exporting of material from that area. It's like mostly they do like land. A lot of like the exporting, I guess, right? Is it exporting, importing? I don't know. I forget which one I'm trying to say now. But like a lot of it is done over land, but like there's a good like there's a good amount of like that stuff happening at the port of Okehagan, and it's like going around. I mean, if I had a bigger version of the map, which I don't have here, I don't think, not for this one, then I would show you kind of like the route. Maybe I'll draw like a awful little like squiggly line around so you can see it next time. But yeah, so like only small bruises and cuts can be healed by light magic. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be small. It can be like larger like wounds and stuff like that, but like when it comes to like illnesses that like people are born with, or you know, illnesses like that develop later on, light magic can really only like reduce like symptoms and stuff like that, but not like heal it at its like source. So it's not like a cure-all or anything like that. So that's why they don't depend on light magic itself to like fix like health and like medical issues and whatnot. So a lot of magic instead is used within like typical like medical procedures and whatnot. But you can also think about magic research as being like a part of like, for what we have in modern day as like technology research and stuff, you can think of magic research as kind of the same thing. Is that like they're figuring out like new ways to use magic and like what can be done with it and whatnot. Like the way Avum, you know, he was a big old scholar, and he researched a lot of magic, and he learned how to, because he had God blessed magic, he was able to figure out how to replicate it and to share it with other people. So it's kind of, you know, like that's the kind of thing. But yeah, there wasn't much on here because, you know, I've been asked about like money and stuff before, and I could get into like the nitty gritty of like everything, but it's just like that, it's not really what like my stories are about. So I don't talk as much about like the like oh, this is how much like the GDP is, or the whatever. Like I don't want to talk about that. I don't think that's necessary for the world, because I think, you know, that's something people have asked me before when it comes to like world building. And so like when it comes to world building, I think it is important that you build like something really robust and that there is a lot of details, but sometimes like you just don't need certain information within your world because it's unnecessary to like the story sometimes. And I think a lot of the times when you get like way too, like when you have like too much detail, it kind of like prevents you from like moving on to like doing other things, I guess is what I would say. Because like for myself, it's like I love like having like a world that has so much going on, but like I prefer not to like go into like, I don't know, like technology, because like a lot of people have asked me about you know, like, oh, would they be able to have like pew-pews or trains and whatever else. And it's like, that's why I say it's like, you know, they're in like a technological like stagnation kind of thing, because I don't think like going into it, yes, they have this like technology that could develop into this, but then I don't want to do that because I don't need that sort of thing within the world. Like the world doesn't need it, so I don't put it in there, I guess. Yeah, so that's my view on world building, I suppose. You know what, I was talking to Dixon, and we actually had he like kind of gave me an idea that was like I should try and like write a script like live, like with you guys, so you can see like what my process of like thinking is and how I kind of, I guess, involve like parts of my world into it and try to I guess show you my process for writing and whatnot. Yeah, so that's that. Okay, and then this is my last slide, so stream's gonna be over soon. So this is an interesting part to me, is the education of Penkos. And so yeah, if it's not going to be a plot point or relevant, why go into that depth, is my kind of mindset. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too. Like I don't think there's a point in like going into all of this if it's unnecessary, right, to your story, because I'm never going to be talking about like the percentage of how much wheat makes up the economy within an audio. Like I'm never going to talk about that. There's no point. But yeah, education. So like, you know, for education, like this is what kind of like I think this is an important detail to me. I mean, I'm kind of biased since I teach children. Good, you got this all written down. I can't imagine trying to memorize all this. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to, I mean, the crazy thing is that like, you know, I do have a lot of things that I just haven't written down, and so it is just kind of like all in my brain. And that's why I'm trying to put it all onto the new Notion website so everyone can see it instead of it being like locked up in my head. But yeah, so education is compulsory to the age of 18. Because you can study all the way up until 20. Like as in like secondary school, because if you're breaking it up into like primary and then like whatever the middle school is and then your secondary school, then it's secondary school will go on till you're 20, if you wish to stick to it, because again, in this world, humans like they live longer. Humans live longer in this world. Like, you know, no one's dropping at the age of like 65 to 80 anymore in this world. It's a little bit higher. So they it's compulsory to 18, because I think in like around the place where I live, I think it's only compulsory to like 16. But here it's compulsory to age 18, but then you can you know, like it goes on until you're 20 years old. So it's not like a standard curriculum or anything. It's not like Common Core the way it is in the United States. Although there are like general guidelines that are kind of set out by Penkos, that it's like, hey, you know, like at this point in time, you know, students should be able to be like doing this, but it's not like they have to necessarily like follow like a strict set of standards that or whatever like that. So like, well, they have standards, but it's not like a curriculum that they have to like follow specifically. So each like dukedom will have its own like curriculum, and they'll like teach things in this order and that order and whatever they think is best. And obviously like these are like reviewed and whatnot, but yeah, so it's there's a general guideline, but it's not so much that these dukedoms are like forced into doing a particular curriculum. And so then there is the Hesperian examination. Now this is how students are able to go to the academies. And so the academies that I mentioned are the Academy of Vinmoke and then the Academy of Singuis. And so those two are like very prestigious. They're run by the Church of Morena. And basically at age 7, you're able to take a examination to determine, you know, like whether or not you, I guess, are academically gifted enough to go to the Hesperian academies. And the thing is, like, it's not just at age 7. Like, it's not like, oh, at age 7 and you didn't like reach the criteria, so you're out, you can't go again. It's just age 7 on, so you can keep you can keep taking the tests like every year, and it will like increase in you know, the difficulty or whatever based on, you know, whatever you are, what, like, you know, what you should know by then. Didn't Anissa enter this exam? Yes, Anissa did. Yes. So, you know, like, it's not only like royal people or anything like that get to go. Like, Era didn't get to go, but Leo did. I mean, mind you, like, it was difficult. Even if, like, let's say, like, you know, like, Era didn't get, like, trapped in that palace, like, for a long time, she still wouldn't have gone because it's by choice. You don't have to go, but, you know, you have the option to be a part of it. I was just about to ask that too. Yeah. So she did the exam, and, you know, she's able to, like, you know, enter the academy and stuff. And it's not like a very, it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's hard to put into words, but yeah. So like every year you have a chance to go to these academies, and you can choose like which one more aligns toward like what you want to do, etc. And then like higher education wise, also like this is where like you start to specialize. This is where I kind of made it different than like how university goes like here in the United States, is that you don't have to do gen eds. You don't have to do gen eds. You just specialize. You specialize in on like what you want to do. Like whether that's like fine art or like architecture or history or magic or whatever. You hone in on that and you only study that till like whenever. It's a lot more flexible, so you can take as long as you want to finish. And you don't have to feel bad about it because you can just research as much as you want to. And so then there's also like trade schools that begin at like 16. So like let's say like, you know, you don't really want to continue like learning, I guess, like the like only the standard. So like at like 18 you'll continue to learn like standard things across the board, but at 16 to 17 you'll kind of be able to like enter a program that basically allows you to go to a trade school in like whatever trade you'd like to, I guess, like I don't know, plumbing, because there's toilets, plumbing, construction, etc. So you can go into trade schools for that, and it's like it allows you to do like half of your day would be going to like normal school, and then half of your day you would go to the trade school. But then from 18 to 20, right, that would be like all trade school, and by the end of it like you would be able to like get a license or something for whatever you were doing trade in which school typically ends for people at like 20-ish anyway. But yeah, so that's the education-y bit. That's the education-y bit. So I hope, you know, you guys enjoyed the stream today. Let me go back to chatting. But yeah, I hope, well actually, are there any questions? Are there any questions about like anything that I've said, or anything you would like to know? And I'll write that down, and maybe I will well, not maybe, but I will include it in the next stream. Yeah, so any questions, class, about any of the material that I've taught to you today? You know what? Oh my gosh, I realized that Merc Medic isn't here today, so I haven't hydrated, so I'm just gonna hydrate. But eventually though, I do hope that I will get this lore thing down, because it is a lot. It is a lot happening. There's a lot of information that I have to like, you know, get down and whatever. Question: does the imperial politics affect the other kingdoms? I assume so, but is it like active or more so passive? Okay. Oh, do any of the leaders Adept Leo Primus die in combat? Okay, Okay, so interesting questions. I don't think I can quite answer that first one yet, because I don't think it's necessarily passive. They all work together like very like closely, and so like, you know, whenever like Penkos does something that will be affecting like that will be affecting the other countries, you know, obviously then they have to talk about it, because the Council of Estrella meets very frequently to like talk about this kind of thing. But yeah, I might have to answer that in the next one in more like detail, but I'll write that one down. And then, do any of the leaders die in combat? Well, you can't know that yet until we get to the calamity bit. You can't know that yet until the calamity bit. Oh, I know it won't be answered, but what happened at the end of the Vienna Marathon? Oh, yeah. So I uploaded the Vienna Marathon onto Patreon, and, well, I hope people don't get mad at me for that. That one, you know, that one might have to do with, the calamity, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I can't answer that one yet. Sorry, Blondie. Sorry. Last question. What is a blight? I hear them mentioned, but have no idea what that actually means. Okay. So in the last lore stream, so during the fall of Morena, which was basically a war between the gods, it was pretty much like all of the smaller firstborn gods versus Morena herself, and essentially Morena was in like such despair, and there was so much like negativity like flowing through her, that when she was like struck down, essentially like her blood, which was filled with so much like, again, like despair, spread across the land, this like unnamed land, which is now known as the Land of Lamentation. And basically that caused something called blight magic to be developed. And blight magic, essentially, it is kind of like a disease in a way, where it can spread on the land, and it will make people sick, and if you die, you know, while you have like blight or whatever, you will turn into an undead, but not like a zombie, not necessarily like a zombie though, but that's the blight, essentially. Yeah, that's the blight. Yeah, and essentially when you have blight, you have to die first, and then you will become an undead. But essentially, the way the afterlife kind of works is that you are, I guess, reincarnated? Yeah, you are reincarnated, except your soul, right? The very core of your soul cannot be recycled. It cannot be recycled. So your soul is just trapped inside of this dead body, and you're being controlled by someone else, is basically what's happening. Okay, let's see. Will Miro ever show up again? She did go missing, just like Despina. Well, she might show up again, but not she'll show up. She's not dead. She's not dead. But you might see her. You might see her around the calamity time, maybe. I don't know. It's assumed that she's dead though. But Despina kind of disappeared in like a very weird way. She kind of died. She didn't die, but she kind of disappeared. Sorry. She disappeared in a strange way. Her body's just gone, right? But like, Miro was escaping and then she disappeared. But yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm really excited to go into like the calamity at some point, because then you'll get to see like all of, like the kids and stuff. You'll get to see like the kids, and how that happens. Oh, do any of the new Pantheon interfere to deal with blight as it obstructs with natural life in the death cycle? Yeah, they do, of course. Like that's like one of the things that they're like very like focused on, is that like because the new Pantheon is kind of I don't know how to explain this without spoiling stuff yet, but then the new Pantheon, you know, they have to keep like a balance going, right? And obviously this is throwing off the balance, but because this is like magic that is directly tied to Shiaides, or Morena, they can't fix it. They can't fix it, but they are trying to figure out, like, that's one of the main things that the Church of Morena itself is trying to figure out, is how to prevent the blight, how to stop the blight, just how to get rid of it in general. What I wouldn't give to be a knight helping those affected by blights. Yeah, so there's like a lot that the church has to do by, like, because there's like areas of blight that like kind of like pop up here and there within Penkos or the living lands, and like that's like suspected that that's happening via like spies that have come in to, like, from the living land to whatever. Oh, thank you Karasu Fenikusu for following. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. But does Anium wield the Plecteri blade? He has it with him sometimes. He doesn't have it with him all the time. Typically he'll just use like a pretty like normal blade. It is his blade by like right, because he is the Plecteri knight, but he doesn't necessarily use it. He doesn't necessarily use it in like normal combat. So yeah, he'd like prefer not to. Both very excited and scared about the calamity stuff. Oh, well thank you for making it to my stream. I'm gonna like end it in a minute. No. I'm so sorry. Well thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. No, don't say that. No, don't say that. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, sorry if my stream time is like inconvenient. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm just answering like a couple questions right now about Morena and stuff and how the world works and whatnot. So yeah, there will be a VOD. There's a VOD will be uploaded onto the VOD channel. So but yeah, no, thank you for coming here though. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so but it is 1:30 now, so it is time for me to end the stream because I need to get ready for Minecraft Saturday on the server. So yeah, and also today again there will be a watch party at 5 p.m. EST. We're gonna be having like a little holiday party get together. We're gonna watch Barbie: A Perfect Christmas. So I hope that, you know, you'll join me and hang out and stuff. And yeah. I hope everyone has like a really good day. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the support on the streams, and I love talking to you guys. And yeah. So thank you very much. I will be heading off now, so I'll see you guys later. All right, bye everyone. Stay cozy and stay warm and stay safe and stay happy and stuff like that. And yes, all right, signing off. Shiaides.